And the Lord answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon the tables, that he may run that readeth it. Write the things which thou hast seen, and the things which are, and the things that which shall be hereafter. For the vision is yet for the appointed time, but at the end of it shall speak, and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, it will not tarry. The best of them is as a briar, the most upright and sharper than a thorn hedge. The day of the watchman in thy visitation shall cometh. Now shall be their perplexity. Trust ye not in a friend, but put ye not confidence in a guide. Keep the door of thy mouth from her that lieth in thy bosom. Therefore I will look unto the Lord, I will wait for the Lord of my salvation, for salvation my God will hear me. Who hate the good and who love evil, who pluck off their skin from off their bones, who also eat the flesh of my people and flay their skin from off of them. And they break their bones and chop them in pieces, as for the pot, and as flesh within the cauldron. Thus saith the Lord concerning the prophets that make my people err, that bite with their teeth and cry peace, and he that putteth not into their mouths, they even prepare war against him. Therefore night shall be unto you, that ye shall not have a vision, that ye shall not divine, and the sun shall go down over the prophets, and the day shall be dark over them. And to understand this, truly you need to listen to this gentleman. He goes so much more into depth in these verses here. Just amazing. And the Lord came unto Zechariah, saying, Thus speaketh the Lord of hosts, saying, Execute true judgment, and show mercy and compassion every man to his brother. And oppress not the widow, nor the fatherless, the stranger, nor the poor, and let none of you imagine evil against his brother in your heart. These two verses, have they not spoken to you when the doors were closed and it was Joel Osteen allegedly closing those doors? And I believe that it was God's judgment, executing his judgment, and it was for the eyes to see and the ears to hear, to see this, that this was God's hand that did this and busted those doors open to feed his slaughter. But they refused to hearken, and pulled away the shoulder, and stopped their ears, that they should not hear. Yea, they made their hearts as an adamant stone, lest they should hear the law, and the words which the Lord of hosts has sent in his spirit by the former prophets. Therefore came great wrath from the Lord of hosts. Therefore it is come to pass that as he cried, and they would not hear, so they cried, and I would not hear, saith the Lord of hosts. For the idols have spoken vanity, and diviners have seen a lie, and have told false dreams. They comfort in vain. Therefore they went their way as a flock. They were troubled, because there was no shepherd. My anger was kindled against the shepherds, and I punished the goats, for the Lord of hosts had visited his flock in the house of Judah, and hath made them as he godly horse in the battle. I will hiss for them, and will gather them, for I have redeemed them, and they shall increase as they have increased. Open the door of Olibian, that the fire may devour the cedar. Howl, fir tree, for the cedar is fallen, because the mighty are spoiled. Howl, O ye oaks of Bashan, for the forest of vintage is come down. There is a voice of the howling of the shepherds, for their glory is spoiled. A voice of the roaring of the young lions, for the pride of Jordan is spoiled. Thus saith the Lord my God, feed the flock of the slaughter, whose possessors slay them, and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich. And their own shepherds pity them not. For I will no more pity the inhabitants of the land, saith the Lord. But lo, I will deliver them every one into the neighbor's hand, and into the hand of his king. And they shall smite the land, and out of their hand I will not deliver them. And I will feed the flock of the slaughter, even you, O poor of the flock. And I took unto me 2 staffs, the one I called beauty, and the other I called bands, and I fed the flock. 3 shepherds also I cut off in 1 month, and my soul had loathed them. And their soul also abhorred me. In that day there shall be a fountain opened to the house of David, and to the inhabitants of the Jerusalem for sin and for uncleanness. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will cut off the name of the idols of the land, and they shall no more be remembered. And also I will cause the prophets and the unclean spirits to pass out of the land. And it shall come to pass in that day that the prophets will be ashamed, every one of his visions, when he that prophesied, neither shall they wear a robe garment to deceive. Awake, O sword, against my shepherd, and against the man that is my fellow, saith the Lord of hosts. Smite the shepherd, and the sheep will be scattered, and I will turn my hand upon the little ones. Declare this to the house of Jacob, and publish it in Judah, saying, Hear now this, O foolish people, and without understanding, which have eyes, and see not, which have ears, and hear not. A wonderful and horrible thing is committed in the land. The prophets prophesying falsely, the priests bear rule by their means, and my people love to have it so. And what will ye do in the end thereof? Okay. And will you pollute me among my people for handfuls of barley and for pieces of bread, to slay the souls that should not die, and to save the souls alive that should not live, by lying to my people that hear your lies? Proclaim ye among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into the swords, and your prune hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. Amen. So I'll leave that in the description box. Now, I just had a problem with, I was going to do it in the first video. I was going to put the links there, and it's not letting me go through. So I'm just going to have to do it manually. And this is why I just waited to do it with the second video here. So again, I'm having a lot of problems with this, and I really have nobody to look at this right now. So hopefully I get this out. My prayers are with everybody, and believe me, I really believe that this was an execution of God, and this was his finger, and it's for the eyes to see and the ears to hear. God be with you. No fear, be love, and give hope. Bye.